It is a girl. That I need to have process that for story. It's one of our female employees.
I feel like I know who.
I should not play with the dust while I'm sitting.
Girl Yap, Girl Yap, Girl Yap, Girl Yap. Talking shit and run our mouths, it's what we like to do. Girl Yap, Girl Yap, Girl Yap, Girl Yap.
Hey y'all,
Hey, y'all.
I'm Becca.
I'm Jordan.
Welcome to episode 2 of Girl Yap.
You already know what time it is.
Snaps all around.
We're about to get snappy and
We
yappy.
did it.
Let's do it.
Happy Thursday is when these episodes drop on Thursdays. So happy Thursday.
Check
It's ladies'
yourself
night
out.
tonight at the Whiskey Baron.
It is. It's about to be a wild one.
And you know what that means? It's always a good party.
Ladies drink free, 10 to 12. Come on out.
Guys are only $5 and you get to see all the pretty girls.
A lot more women than men.
A lot more.
Yeah.
That's a good segue to remind people that we do in fact work at the Whiskey Baron Dance Hall and Saloon.
Yes, we do.
Located
Wonderful bar.
in Colorado Springs, Colorado.
The best bar south of the Mississippi and west of the
Oh.
Mississippi.
The best bar this side of the Springs. Welcome in.
We'll say that.
We are.
Yeah, my geography just isn't.
Mine's not ripe either.
I don't geography.
I was an English major.
I was an English communication major. But same, right? We use words.
We use words. Today we're going to talk about one of mine and Jordan's favorite topics, and that is PDA in the bar. Just let that sink in for a minute.
I just got chills down the spine.
PDA from not staff members. I don't think I've seen any staff members like do major PD. Actually, I do have one story, but they weren't on shift, so I think it's a little like different. But mostly from our customers, people get frisky when they start drinking whiskey.
Frisky with the whiskey.
Oh, whiskey makes her frisky, and tequila makes her clothes fall off. Is that how it goes?
That is the song. Tequila makes her clothes fall off. But I would say like our staff is pretty good with, because, you know, people date in the bar here, but no, we keep it kind of real professional about that.
Yeah.
Especially out on the floor and stuff.
Yeah, I've never had any issues with like people being on shift, like displaying PDA. Our staff members. It's when they come in off of shift that I've seen some things that I would prefer not to see with my eyes.
Yeah, it's like they become a regular guest.
Yeah.
I'm like, but you still work here. So.
Do you want to start us off with one of your PDA stories?
Yeah, I have a really good one to start off with, and by good one I mean like size D's. So, we have 3 bars at Whiskey Baron. One is by the door, the other one is kind of when you walk in a little bit more, and then the other one is you kind of curve around, do a lap on the other side of the bar. So we have 3 bartenders set up in each bar, and I was the one closest to the door. Well, it gets a little rowdy on Wednesday nights by the door, just because that's the first stop that usually people make coming in to Whiskey Baron. I was closing up my drawer at the end of the night, lights were on, and I had the stripper just dump her yitties out at my bar.
We love strippers at Whiskey
We
Baron. You
do
guys are great.
support the strippers.
Strippers are great tippers.
They are.
They're
They
great
love us
tippers.
too.
Yeah.
They love us.
They know how to drink. They know how to have fun. And they also apparently break out their
Yaddies.
yaddies
When the lights come on.
at the bar. I mean,
And she was definitely like, you know, just.
well, before she whipped out the yaddies, she laid on the bar
With her
legs,
back on the bar. With her
back on the bar, legs up, fully up.
Holding on like an alien kind of like.
I mean, it was a
arms
stripper
were like
move.
holding on to the bottom of my bar where my well
Yeah.
was. I didn't see any of this.
And then she
was very quiet.
flipped off and shirt went down.
Yaddy Central.
I mean, it was a time.
I don't know if that's like PDA making out PDA, but I mean, it's definitely body parts PDA.
Yeah,
For
I think
sure.
it's just exposure.
That's just one I'll never forget.
I have one kind of similar. It was a concert, so I was in the VIP section and I was by East Bar. And I can't remember who was working East Bar, but they came up to me and they were like, "Hey, this guy and his wife keep getting a little frisky at the end of the bar. Could you like keep an eye on it? They were like, I think I might have seen her ass cheeks. And I was like, okay, I'll kind of go watch. So I go sit closer to where they're standing. And out of the corner of my eye, I can see some fondling going on. So I'm like, okay, no big deal. It's over the clothes. We're over the clothes petting, no rules broken. It happens. And the next thing I know, he has lifted up her skirt, and it's not a long skirt. It's already a short skirt to begin with, but he had lifted up her skirt and was just smacking her ass just right there.
Just hands on the jugs.
And she was
the
like,
bottom jugs.
And their friends were standing right next to them. And I was
and
like,
loved it.
All right. Okay. Well,
you have a home.
We are in public. So I kindly went up to them and I was like, hey, could you stop flashing the bartender with your wife's or girlfriend's whatever butt? And he kind of at first was like, what? And I was like, we can see you. I know the bars are tall, but we can see you. I can see it.
That makes me want to remind everybody that whatever you do in this bar, we know and see because we have cameras all over
and we
this
probably
bar.
have it on security footage.
And we have it, like, we can go back in the footage. So we can see whatever you're doing.
It's right
so,
there.
sir, we could see you just shaking Janice's jugs down below, okay? And a little short skirt.
I was so tired that night too because it had been a concert day. So we had been here since like
all
9
day.
a.m. And now we're approaching 9 p.m., 10 p.m. And at that point, we've been here for that long for a concert. I'm just over it. And I would love for just the main act to go on, everyone have a good time. We go off without any, issues, and then everyone goes home. So when I see you juggling ass cheeks, I just am like, could you just fucking not, please?
You're like, I have been here for 12 hours. Can we just ride this out?
Can we just chill?
Can we just ride this one out smooth?
I mean, you have a lot of experience with PDA at your bar top personally.
I don't know what energy I bring into this world. Maybe it's that people feel comfortable expressing themselves around me. But I do. So, Becca, we were trying to look in the memes and the memories a long time ago. We couldn't find any pictures. I don't know where all of the selfies.
I don't know where they went.
So if you're PDAing at my bar, I'm going to take a selfie of myself and you're going to be in the background with the PDA and I'm going to send it to my manager. And I'm going to be like, look at these people getting full on heavy at the bar.
I mean, it was a while there. It was happening to you like once a week for like months.
It was every week I came in. Every week.
Some couple at some point in the night was just making out.
It was
full tonsil hockey.
It was really sad because I was single. I was really single and I was lonely and I was like, get a room. How dare you?
How dare you? Remember, it was the one couple 2 weeks in a row. They just like they were kind of younger.
Oh, yeah. And they were standing over kind of by the poker tables over to the side.
Yeah.
Yeah. And at the end of the night, this girl was getting smashed up against the wall. Like he was like putting her hands up against the wall. Oh. And she was like,
that's a lot.
At that point, sir, it is 1 o'clock in the morning. Wrap it up. Take it home.
That's all I ask. Just take it home. If you're into that kind of stuff, public displays.
Oh, not cool.
I mean, to an extent,
sure.
But like also go home.
Let's talk about this right quick because we're talking about PDA.
Yeah.
What do you think the boundaries of your personal PDA are? So what do you accept and not accept in public?
Oh, I'm bad. Remember how last episode we talked about how I don't like when people touch me?
Mm-hmm.
I am not like a touchy-feely person at all. So sometimes Jamie and I will be walking in public and we won't even be holding hands because I just don't think about it and I just like
go about your life.
Go about my life. We go to Target. I throw my stuff in the cart. We leave. But sometimes if I'm like a little more sensy that day, a little sensitive, there is a little bit more PDA. But I feel like because we work together, I try to keep our PDA like pretty minimum when we're inside the bar.
Yeah. I definitely feel like, you know, it is different too. It's another level being the manager because you're telling your staff members, hey guys, you cannot.
For sure.
You can't
For sure.
be out on the floor making out, kissing. You know, you can give a hug. Sure.
Yeah.
Give a hug. Go about your way.
Yeah.
But you can't really be out like holding hands and flirting with each other all night at the bar. And it's like you do, you know, maybe need to. Don't be shy about it.
That one was
Put it in the.
That one was airy. I could feel it. I could feel that it wasn't going to be.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say put it in the atmosphere. Put it in there.
Yeah, I think being the manager has like a big effect on like how our PDA kind of is at work. I mean, he has a habit of smacking my butt pretty often, but it's just in passing, you know?
Yeah.
If we're like crossing paths, he'll like give a little butt smack. But one time he did almost smack the wrong butt.
You are fake news.
Because me and
Jamie,
look at that face.
we want details, Jamie.
Well, me and I'm not going to say the person's name because they're not, I don't want to like, they don't work here anymore. But me and another person were standing next to each other at the water trough where he drops off stuff. And he was just kind of like set some stuff down and turned around. And he's like, I almost smacked this person's butt. And then I quickly realized it was not
just like full on.
He had to do like
So
a double take.
That is not you.
I also have to tell him that he's really not allowed to have like any like sex stories at work because at this point we've been together for like 4 years. So if you're telling one of like the bros at work a sex story, there's a high possibility that it's with me and I'm their manager and I don't need them knowing what I do.
Absolutely. I mean,
in my free time.
Professionalism, right? Like in the same light, it's like, Jamie, we know you want to have friends, and honestly,
I know the bros are talking about their girls and what they get on.
We are each other's friends,
but we're all
here.
We're all here, and I don't need them knowing. Like, I feel like you're kind of the same in public though with PDA. Like, I don't think I've ever seen you with a boyfriend like super like.
No, that's something that I would say as I've gotten older, I've grown out of. I've kind of, I don't want to use the word matured, but I would just say a little bit more realistic of my surroundings and being aware of people around me. PDA can make people feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It just can. I also, don't want to do too much PDA around kids. It's just not. Yeah. Maybe that's just how I was raised, and that's just how I feel and I view it. And to each their own. But for me and in my personal relationships, I'm not going to be out like you just grabbing my ass. You're just touching me all over. I don't want people. I'm very much a space kind of person, just like you. I don't want somebody in my space all the time.
Yeah.
I don't need you on my neck.
No.
I need to be an independent woman still. I need you beside me, not in front of me or over me.
Yeah.
I need you to like walk beside me and hold my hand and support me in the things that I do.
Yeah.
Not just be right there. Just breathing like... It's just, it gives me the creeps. But I would say, like, I don't need to hold your hand every single thing that we do, every single time, every single where we go. I don't need interlocked fingers with you. Sometimes we're steady walking into a Target and we're trying to get that sale. And my thought is just getting into Target.
Do you think we're the mentally ill ones?
Maybe we've had trauma, but this is why we have Girl Yap.
Nod? You just nodded. Jamie just nodded.
Fake news. I don't take questions.
Okay, a little bias over here, but
I mean, this is why we have Girl Yap. But I feel like we're not alone. I feel like it's pretty normal to not have be super touchy feely person.
Yeah, I just feel like
it's our trauma.
Whatever you decide to do, or it is trauma. Just absolutely 100%.
Yeah.
Are we trauma bonding?
Yeah, probably.
Trauma sisters.
It is what it is. I want to talk about the one time I did see a staff member displaying lots of PDA, and they weren't on shift, but it was a Wednesday night. Okay. One of our people, I don't want to give away too much information, but
Do they still work here?
Kind of. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if they were like, hey, could I get a shift? I would be like, yeah. But they don't work here consistently.
Okay.
It was a Wednesday. They had come out partying. Okay. It is a girl. That I need to have process that for story. It's one of our female employees.
I feel like I know who.
I should not play with the dust while I'm sitting. I just saw like little fuzzies and I just anyway, there's another one. The ADHD is riveting today. Okay. So it was a Wednesday and it was busy and I was making my laps because usually on a Wednesday I try to like make laps around the bar. And the patio was pretty packed, so I was like, I'm going to go take a peek on the patio because that's where the kids misbehave the worst is the patio. Because they think that we don't see them. Again, we see you. We see you.
Just because the staff member that we normally put on the patio is half blind, half deaf, doesn't mean that we don't see you.
He got contacts. He's not half blind anymore.
Oh, okay. Just deaf.
Sorry, AJ.
I didn't want to drop a name.
It's
We're
AJ.
doing
He'll
it.
be fine.
We love you,
Shout
AJ.
out
It's
AJ,
just
you're
all
great.
love.
Yeah. But so I was making a lap on the patio and there was this couple where the girl was up against the wall and the guy was over her and they were making out like they were making out hard. Like
Like
and I was
tongue
like
in the back. Like tongue in your
Yeah.
stomach.
yeah. And I was like, what the hell? So I made my way over there to go be like, hey, take that somewhere else. And then I saw her face and I was like, that's one of my employees. So I'm disgusted. I just turned on my heels and walked back inside. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to let her get hers at this point in time because I don't want to interrupt that.
Because it's a lot. You would have to interfere and be like
Excuse me.
here's the mouth and here's the other mouth. And you're like,
Excuse me. Can I get... Excuse me. Knock it off. Ow, I just hit my hand. Yeah, that one was...
that's wild.
I came inside and I like shook it off. And then
Did
went
you
back.
kind of like...
Yeah, a little bit. I was like, that was a lot.
And see, this is friends, what I'm talking about, how PDA can discuss other people.
It's
It
not
can
that like
affect
it's
them.
disgusting. I think that just me as a person and I don't like PDA, it kind of freaks me out.
Absolutely. It makes you feel.
It makes me feel overstimulated. Because I'm like, how can you breathe?
PDA makes me nervous because I am someone that I do care about what other people around me think. I do care about what the public is looking in on me thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So for me and like PDA, you're just not going to see it because I don't want to be judged. But also it makes me feel nervous and get the ick for other people because I'm like, they are being judged.
Is it like a little cringy?
Like you're looking around, you're seeing people like, you know, talking about it or like,
I do think it's fun at the bar though to like watch a guy and a girl or like a couple develop throughout the night. Cause like if they come in and they're sober and they are just hanging out.
they always come in separate.
They always come in separate. They meet up. They're just kind of hanging out, talking. They're dancing a little bit. And then you watch them get like a little more flirty and there's like some arm touching and like the laughing, you know, and you're like, okay, they're getting there.
Cindy's like on her 4th tequila soda,
Yeah.
double.
Yeah. And then like all of a sudden it's like they're making out. Like,
And it's 12:30 and you still have to sit here for 45 more minutes
Yeah.
and clean your bar. And you're like,
and it's
I
going.
have nowhere else to look
But
out
here,
in the abyss.
that happened when, so do you remember Gavin when Gavin worked for
Mhm.
us? It was like probably his first week working and there was two couples. They were probably in their like late 30s, early 40s. You could tell it was like mom and dad's date night. You know, they were
Getting
like
out, letting loose.
And let me tell you, when moms and dads or moms separately and dads separately go on like a girls' night or a date night, no one is holding anything back.
No, they are like,
They
nobody
are
is here to
throwing
watch
down the
us.
shots. They are yelling across the bar. I mean, they're having a good time, but they hold nothing back.
They're on the tables.
That also happened. I did have to kick a group out because moms got on top of the tables. These
Mhm.
tables aren't sturdy, okay? Don't stand on the tables. They're not meant for that.
Yeah, no twerking on the tables, folks.
Please,
Come
no.
on.
But this group of 4 was out. They were having a good time, and the next thing I know, the couples are making out, and it's like, okay, let them get their thing. But Gavin came to me and he's like, Becca, there's a spill right there, and like I keep trying to clean it up, but this couple's like standing in the spill. And I was like, okay, let me go over there. Maybe I'll help you clean it up. Well, we get over there, and this couple is like, he's like sitting in the chair with like legs kind of open, and she's like in between his legs, and they're kissing. And they are standing right in this spill, and they have not broken air enough to realize that we're standing there trying to clean up this drink. So Gavin's like going around their feet, like trying to clean it nicely. I grab the mop out of his hand, and I just start ramming their feet with the mop.
Excuse me.
I was just like, well, if they're not going to move. So I just start ramming their feet with the mop, and they still didn't break for air. They were still going at it. So finally I like, excuse me. And they like turned and looked at me, and I was like, could you move? I'm trying to clean up the mess that you made.
With a mop in your hand?
Yeah. Could you just scoot out of the way? And then they finally moved. But I remember Gavin was like a little, because he was young. He was like 19. He was a little.
Gavin was a baby, and that was like his first time, I think, exposed to nightlife.
I mean,
really.
He definitely partied in in college when he was in college. But I think just there's like a certain way that you feel when it's someone like way older than you, and you're supposed to be like kind of telling them what to do, like, please get out of my way. Sometimes it gets a little awkward. And then if they're making out, so you can't even be like, hey, excuse me, then it just makes it like.
Yeah, he's younger, and he's like, how do I tell these 40-year-old people to get out of the way?
Yeah, exactly.
How do I get this power to tell them? You know?
Exactly.
Oh, bar PDA.
It's great. I think the most iconic PDA story we have. Dave, can I tell this one about the bathroom a couple summers ago? I don't know if you worked here yet. I don't know if you did. It was my first summer here, so it was 2021. But it was like early summer, and you started in like August or September. It was 22?
22 is when I started.
Oh, it was 22 was when I started too, but it was early summer. Because I
started July.
I think this was my first couple weeks here because I was working the box stall. I was working the front door. But I see Dave and Bailey and Brandon like escorting this couple out of the men's bathroom. And Dave walks past me and goes, they were just fucking in the bathroom. And I said, excuse me? What? So it was a Wednesday. Shocker.
How old were they?
I don't know. Were they over 21? They were under 21. So Wednesdays, if you don't know, Wednesdays are our college nights. So 18 and up is welcome into the bar. 18 to 20 cannot drink. Surprisingly, I get asked this question all the time. It is
illegal.
It is illegal. You are not allowed to drink in this facility. If you drink and we catch you, you're getting kicked out. And then if you're an asshole, I'm calling the cops. Just a fair warning. But so Dave was like, they were fucking in the bathroom. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he goes, yeah. Bailey radioed for help in the men's room. So I go in there, and Bailey is standing in front of this stall like, that's all he's doing. He's just
no words. Just no words.
Just shoulder shrug.
That's like a total Bailey thing.
Oh, yeah.
Just at a loss for words.
Yeah. So Dave goes to rip open the bathroom stall because you can see 2 sets of feet. Dave goes to rip open the bathroom stall, and the girl pulls the door back shut. And she's like, fuck off. And Dave's like,
oh, not to my manager.
What? So then he yanks open the door again. And sure enough, this guy's sitting on the toilet, and she's like,
on top of him?
You know, but like facing this way.
Yeah, but like
so kind of like a reverse cowgirl, but like sitting on him. Yeah.
Ew, dude, you're sitting on
and she
a toilet?
Was yitties out, pants down, flip-flops in the Whiskey Baron, just going to town. And Dave was like, Not the squad.
Was she doing it when you opened the door? What was her
Oh.
face? I feel like that's something I would remember. Mhm.
He had a firm grip on the Yiddies. Reverse cowgirl in the bathroom. So
Friends.
Dave,
In the bathroom of the Whiskey Baron?
our bathrooms are clean.
They're clean.
but also
It's just a bathroom.
yeah. So Dave was like, "Get the fuck out of my bar." And they got dressed and just
Were they like walk of shame or?
I don't know. She was just kind of like walking out. And I was like, well, do your thing, girl.
She was
but-
probably like, we're going to go finish this in the car.
which I see a lot too. When we leave here late at night on Wednesdays, and there's cars parked really any night of the week. When there's cars parked in the parking lot and we're making
You know what that means.
Mm-hmm. Because Dave and I will check the parking lots for like trash or puke or whatever. So sometimes when we make those laps around the parking lot, you will see some cars with foggy windows. Foggy windows. And then I just pray it's not one of my employees.
We're working.
Not at that time.
Oh, yeah, right. You just see your employees. You're like, you just hear the insert Jamie. You know, the Halloween.
Yeah.
And they're like, you know, it's just literally that face. You're like sweating, walking through the parking lot. Ooh, I do have a PDA story. This one goes down in the history. You know what I'm talking about.
This,
You know what I'm talking
yes, I know. And we can't show this one because there's so many faces exposed in it. But the video is still saved in my Snapchat story.
I still have the video. That video I do have. I don't think we can show it because could we?
Not,
can't
absolutely
really-
not.
But you can't identify the people.
It's too much.
Okay.
It's too much.
You're leaving and you're going down the side kind of towards there's like a main intersection. You can look back and see the front of the Whiskey Baron. You can see all of it. It's kind of sitting up on the hill. And I just had this weird feeling to look back one morning when I was actually leaving and I was going down to the intersection. And I looked back and I was like, what the? And I looked back again and I was like, I can't even see this far with my own eyes. So I need to get my phone and I can zoom in and see it better. And I zoomed in and there was one of our regulars sitting on the ground, just sitting, legs straight out, fully clothed. They all were fully clothed. There was like another guy beside him or something, and he was making out with the chick and she was straddling him too. But the one guy that was our regular was getting straddled by
A little person.
yes. And he was holding her like a baby and burping her back, patting her on the back like a stuffed animal. And I was like, that's cruel. That's actually just cruel.
They were like nuzzling up with each other.
He was just
She was, like,
he was
full
just holding her.
straddle.
He was just holding her like you get a pillow. And he was just holding her and he was just patting her on the back. And I was like, she's not a feeding baby. Like you're
Yeah,
holding
she's
her
not.
like a small little pillow.
That sometimes when I feel sad, I go back and look at that video.
And I'm like, this is really bad. I do think, no, I can't say that. We're not going to expose too much people too much. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Did I cover my mouth for that? Yeah.
You can kind
Definitely.
of hear it being mouthed a little bit, not too much. I don't think you can hear
Uh.
it. But I do think that he
That's what I heard.
did have there's something in my eyeball, probably a lie.
Mm.
I do think that he had
Yeah.
not an affair, a permanent situation, if you will.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know.
we don't know. We can't confirm.
No, can neither confirm nor deny.
But
without permission from the Secretary of State.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things. Sometimes when new people start, I'm like, hey, do you want to see a crazy video? And I just show them
And
that
it's that one.
Yeah.
It was probably about 40 degrees outside, maybe
Yeah, it was
30.
cold.
It was
wintertime.
chilly.
They were waiting for their Uber.
And both the girls were in like tank tops.
That's brave. Could never be me. So, moral of the story, kids and adults. If you're going to display PDA in the bar, please keep it somewhat PG. I don't want to see butt cheeks. I mean, the strippers' yitties were cool. That was
We
fun.
love strippers. We do.
I mean,
We love them.
I love them. I miss them. They haven't
They're
come in
never
a while.
any trouble. They
No.
don't cause any trouble.
Well, there was that one time, but we'll save that for a different pod.
Yeah.
But strippers, they're fun.
But they're
Like I said, they
fun.
tip well.
They're nice.
They drink. They're nice.
They're in the service industry.
I have
They
one.
understand.
There's one stripper that comes in that she tells me, she's like, "You're my princess, and no one better touch you." And I'm like, "Damn straight."
I'm getting you for a fight to have
I'd
my
rather
back.
have the crazy girl have my back than be against me. So we're like this, you know.
I'm telling you.
Don't know her name, but
Yeah.
if I need her, I'm gonna go grab her.
You.
Help! I need like a bat signal.
I'm like, does she want a second job? Just strap on a Whiskey Baron shirt. She'll probably cut it into a top or something.
Probably.
But. Also, I would like to say,
Oh,
this is fashion,
this is
but
going
maybe
off
not.
script.
Maybe not fashion. It's a little PDA, but it's PDA with the body parts.
Okay.
Ladies, I support all bodies. I support whatever you do with your bodies. But I will say that when you're wearing a shirt and you're not wearing a bra, cool, whatever. We all do it. But when you're wearing a shirt and you're not wearing a bra and your shirt's barely covering past your nipples, that is not a shirt.
It's not. It's not.
It's not a shirt.
I have had to tell many of girls in my time of working at the Whiskey Baron that their titties hanging out or their ass cheeks are hanging out. And like I try to be really like girl about it. Like, hey girl, just a heads up, your ass is hanging out. And usually they're like, oh my God, like I'm so sorry, like thank you, like, because it's embarrassing. And like I wouldn't, if my ass was out, I would want someone to be like, hey, your ass is out. Because, you know, you get the drinks flowing and you forget body parts don't feel the same.
And we had to literally make a rule here at Whiskey Baron on Wednesday nights that if you're not wearing pants, you cannot come in.
Yeah,
That was a rule.
that was a rule. Also, if you're
Still in
wearing
effect.
a mesh shirt, you have to have pasties on, which I was also shocked I had to
But here's what I'm
make
going to
that
say.
a rule.
If I'm out in public and you want to dress like that, I don't care.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? There's a frame back there.
This stupid
Becca's getting
fucking
framed.
frame.
Those are my dad jokes. But I do feel like if I'm out in public, wherever, and you don't have pants on, not my problem. I don't care. But
Right.
if you are at a public establishment and it doesn't allow for it,
Yeah, I had a
You know.
girl a couple months ago. Her ass was fully out of her skirt. Okay. It was like a cute little plaid skirt. And I don't think she had realized that while she was doing the church clap, it had risen up a lot. It was full.
she did the
ass.
church clap in it.
Yeah. Full ass out. And, you know, I was like, I should go let her know that her ass is out. So I go over there and I'm like, hey, girl, great church clap, but your ass is hanging out. And she says, I know. And then I had to be like, well, you can't do that. Like,
We are still a
prefer
functioning
if your body
establishment.
part, if your no squares are covered, so please pull your skirt down. And then a couple weeks later, she came in and she looks at me out front. She recognizes me and she goes, look, I'm wearing jeans. And I said, wow, I am so proud of you.
We've graduated.
Thank you so much. I mean, PDA is PDA, but if you're going to do it in the bar, one, do it in good frame of the cameras so I can get it later. And two, when it starts getting a little heated, just take it out of the bar.
Yeah. Take it home.
Take it home.
If you don't have a home,
Take it to your car,
Take it
to the sidewalk,
Sidewalk somewhere.
car,
Take it somewhere.
your house. Just,
Take it to the Chili's across the street. Get her some cheese dip at
yeah,
least.
works for me. Well, thanks for joining us this week.
Yeah. I mean, I hope you guys have enjoyed it. That's kind of how we feel about PDA. How do you feel?
I think
You
it's fun, but how do you guys feel about it? God damn it, Dave.
Dave's getting directions to Chili's, which is across the street.
Fucking-
If you go out, take a right and then take another left.
Should we get
Take a
chips and
right.
dip again?
Yes, we should.
Great. Well, be sure to check out Honky Tonk World's podcast
Mm-hmm.
for their episode this week.
Yep.
And we'll see you next time.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you have anything to say about PDA, drop it down below.
Drop it down below. It's time to go, Jordan. Say bye.
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 Girl Yap.